This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSG game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. On the show, spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he want small fry. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Jordan, here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it and set it in stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal of home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast for this Friday night at Joey's Finger, covering up Sean. That's probably the best anyway. Come to you live from the Rally House Studios. I'm your host, Jeremy Wahman. We hope you all have been safe out there this week. It's been cold out there in the streets. Here are my co-hosts for the evening. First off, he is probably he's probably equipped to repel, I believe, but never fails. It's our guy, except for Ed Dayton, our guy, Sean Barber.
How's he going?
And across from him, he is the little big brother, the comic relief, the one and only Joe Wahman.
Acknowledge me.
Sean, you're a chooch. I don't know why you do that every freaking time. And as you can see,
I love you.
Jolo. Sitting next to Sean is women's basketball beat writer and football writer Sam Baisden. Yeah,
Go
he's not here this week. Neither are the Wesses, but both Wesses are in the chat line. So make sure they're going to be drumming up some in there. So we're going to have a good time tonight. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however, send us your questions via social media so that way they filter into the chat line. We'll get to that in a second. Check on the graphic below us to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media and how to help support us monetarily if you like. Don't forget, we've also got the new options, YouTube subscriptions, and which I just realized was misspelled, and YouTube gifts, where you can give a gift directly in the chat. That's fun. Subscription. Hit the thumbs up button while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you can. It'll help us out more analytically. Shout out to our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Four-Pex, Collision Course Crew, Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House. Appreciate them all. Guys, first off, before we get into it, we're going to let some more people hop in here before we get into the thick of things. But the weather's been bad, okay? It's been pretty it's been awful. Let's get the chat line popping. Wes Keys says hello. Garrett Hoover says happy Friday, y'all. What's up? The Meat Man. Wes Brocky says what's up, fellas. Brock Lesnar. Red State says what's good, 55. Wes Keys is acknowledging you. So is Wes Brocky. Daniel Spencer says it looks like OH. I'm going with the rest of that sentence. ND for Notre Dame. That's who I'll be supporting in the national championship game because of my family history with that program.
I mean, Seamus picked Notre Dame to win the national championship before the season.
Yeah, he did. Even after they dropped that horrible game to Northern Illinois.
On game day.
But shout out to, co-host of the the host of the Ringside podcast. Shout out to him because he's now one of the new co-hosts of Reffing It Up with Baby Hebner and Jimmy Corderas. So I think you can correct me if I'm wrong there, Daniel. I get all the names. All you refs look alike to me. But yeah, I love you, Joe. Still has me cracking up from last week. But man, the weather has been horrible out there. Been able to get now. If you have a car, it's been horrible. I've been driving in my Explorer I've been riding in my Explorer all week, and we've had very minimal issues even on the side roads and stuff.
Yeah, and like a luxury vehicle, it's still Well, I have to say that because you couldn't get that Cadillac out, man. Shut your mouth.
So it's been Sean. Now, did you have issues Monday? Not personally, but in the snow.
Yeah. It took me a while to get out of my neighborhood.
So for me, and what's up, Rob Black in the building watching? What's good? For me, I had a luxury there. Speaking of luxury, nice segue.
That's what I did.
My wife's a Minnesotan. Well, she was for 2 years. She drove in 14 inches. Now, here's the thing. Up there, they know how to drive. It's not like here in Louisville where everybody acts like, they drive normally in the snow and ice. They know how to maneuver it. They know how to get there. I remember one time, like literally 14 inches of snow on the ground up there, and it was like 20 below zero, and the wind was blowing like 20 miles per hour, and we were just floating through. Everybody was.
Well, it's because your car was literally off the ground, probably, and you just.
I was in the shout out. Rest in pieces to the Flex. We were rolling in the Flex then, but and that's not even a SUV. It is, but it's not on a like the Explorer I have now is on a truck chassis, right? You said the Flex was not. It set pretty low to the ground. I guess it still could have been a truck.
Still a truck chassis,
but it set low to the ground like a car.
Yeah, more profile.
Yeah. So, but we appreciate all you all staying safe this week and joining us tonight. It's Friday night. A lot of stuff you could be doing.
I help push people out of the snow on Glen Drive.
That's a great thing. Now, that's one thing I did.
Mainly because they were blocking the road and I couldn't get through.
That's fair. That's fair. Right after the first, so what the snow started Saturday and Sunday. Okay. So
then it iced overnight.
But we got a lot Sunday, right? That's when we got. Okay.
Yeah,
so we had to we had to take Ashlyn to work on Sunday because she's never driven in that type of snow. So when we took her to work, there was no snow at all. When we picked her up, there was a whole bunch of snow. And on our way home, there was this guy. He had his the brand name is Polaris, but I forget. It looks like a dune buggy.
Yeah, it's like a Razor, a Gator.
I think
it's a utility. It's a work utility vehicle.
And he was driving up and down Preston, helping pull people out. And so that's a shout out to him. I don't know who you are.
Shout out to everybody helping people.
Yeah, because that's really what we should be doing in this day and time is helping other people out. Let's see. Before we hop into the meat of it, I got the names right. Yay! Dwayne says, "What's good?" I thought I did, but look, I'll just be honest with you. Ever since I got home, I've been spotted. My memory's been off and on a whole lot, so not really worried about it. But it's been.
Jimmy Corderas, former WWE ref, right?
Yeah. Didn't Baby Hebner as well? I know he did at TNA, but
I think so, but I wasn't totally sure about.
Dude, that dude's funny. If you haven't listened, this is not a cheap pop here, but if you haven't listened to the Ringside Podcast episode with me, Daniel, and Baby Hebner, we literally laughed our butts off the entire time because he was on his back porch. It was sweltering hot outside, and his kids would not leave him. I would not leave him alone. So it was a great time. But back into the swing of things here. We're going to break down first. We're going to break down the Clemson game. There was a time when a win versus Clemson in basketball didn't really mean anything at all. Not this year. The 12-3 Tigers came into the Yum looking for their first win in Louisville ever. Their hopes were high. been sorry they were let down. The Cards tamed the Tigers 74-64 behind a career game from Javon Hadley. Javon led all scorers with 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Sorry, and added. He didn't lead with 10 rebounds. He may have, but added 10 rebounds and 4 assists. James Scott also had a double-double with 11 points and 10 boards. Chucky had a slow night, but still had 7 boards and 9 points. The Cards are playing great during the toughest 4-game stretch on their conference schedule with the Saturday matchup at Pitt looming at noon. It felt like Higgy wrote that on ESPN2. The Cards were 12.5-point underdogs on Wednesday. It's all the way down to 4. It may be less than that now. I don't know, Joey. Can you check?
It was 4.5 earlier, but tied with James Scott for 10 rebounds.
James Scott had 10 rebounds. Yeah.
So they tied for the most rebounds. Of course, Chucky had 7 dimes.
Oh, he had 7 dimes too. So he had 7 dimes, 7 boards, 9 points. Not a bad day.
No.
Not a bad day. It was surprising to me that they were that high, considering they're not ranked, but it gives me a little hope. Plus, before the Penny Kane era, that's what I'm gonna call it. We used to own the pack. Like we did really well up there. I remember, gosh, man, me, Marcus, and Steve watched Louisville play at Pitt, and we beat them like by 50-something points a few years ago.
I remember that.
It was a beat down. It was a yeet down.
That's also
Here we go.
the infamous Shitties.
Was it?
Syracuse.
No, it was Pitt because he that was when Malik Williams took off his headband and threw it at the Pitt fans.
Oh yeah, took it off and handed it to him, and
Yeah.
you know, for those of us that don't remember, I don't know which one it is. Which one is it, Sean?
Yeah, it's went down another half point, so it's 4.
4. Okay. I luckily guessed that one correctly. This team, man, is something else. It is a lot different than it was a month ago. It was a lot different than it was 2 weeks ago. Let's go ahead and just say it. Well, the new year has given us a new team because all the stuff that you normally now look, we have sat here and hoped that this team's going to gel. This team's going to gel for different teams in the past 4 or 5 years, and it never gelled. These guys are not only gelling, they're correcting mistakes. They're dry. Like our biggest gripe a month ago was that we were shooting way too many threes and not driving to the basket enough. Now we still shoot way too many threes, but we're driving to the basket. We're collecting fouls. Or drawing fouls. We are taking it to the bucket. I've never felt really more confident in a team. I don't know that I've maybe since 2013. I really feel this is not hyperbole. I really feel like this team can make a deep run. And I'm not trying to jinx anything. I think this is the year we make our return back to the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that here in a second. Let's get back to the chat line. Daniel says, yes, Baby Hebner was with WWE, then TNA, then ROH, then NWA, then back to TNA, then Impact, and then retiring. Garrett says, eat, spit, pit. Daniel says, reminds me of the Patino teams. I love it. Finally get to watch the show live. Triple F in the building. Appreciate you. Yeah, it does. That's a great point. The only thing with the Patino teams is that Patino had, and it wasn't the entire time he was here, but there was a stretch of years where Patino got the in-season funk, and we would lose like 6 out of 9 games to Phil, great point. ACC Coach of the Year and National Coach of the Year candidate for sure, like without a shadow of a doubt. This team is playing good D with minimal fouls. Absolutely. Red State says, no, I would not disagree with anything that you're saying. So here's what I want to do. And for the fans too, we're going to try to spend a little bit of time on this before we head to halftime. I know we just started from the middle, but we're here. Sean, I want, and fans as well. And Joey, you can chime in after Sean goes. Giggity. What has impressed you the most over the last month with this team? And don't say perseverance because that's the obvious.
The overcoming of the injuries, because that really hindered us against Ole Miss, against Kentucky. It hindered us badly.
Yeah.
But we finally started to figure out, or the team and the coaching staff, Pat Kelsey, figured out, okay, these are the guys I'm going to roll with. This is what this guy's going to do. This is what that guy's going to do. Javon Hadley being a prime example. He started to use him as a post player. We didn't really have a post player. Our post player is Javon Hadley now.
James Scott's growing up in front of us too.
That's true too. But he's such a unique player because he's not back to the basket. He's a slasher, if that makes sense, without really.
I don't want to compare him to this guy because he played for a different team, but he was one of the few players on those guys' roster. There's not very many. Obviously, Derek Anderson grew up with him, loved that guy. Coach McCarthy and Coach Turner, I've grown to love them. But correct me if I'm wrong, but who was – I'm going to see if you get this one, Sean, mostly because I'm not sure if I'm correct. Who was their throw-it-up lob to guy? Willie Cauley-Stein.
Oh, yeah, that's
Great comparison, right?
That is a perfect comparison.
Throw the money in the bank. I'm not cashing it in, though, tonight. This kid's young still. He's got a couple more years to thrive. We still don't know, and we're working to find out which of these kids will be able to be back next year with the new rules with JUCO and eligibility that are going into effect. There's a chance that we may have a fantastic roster. And we're going to talk next week. We're going to talk a little bit about what this year's recruiting class alongside Michael Brown is going to look like. So stay tuned next week for that. That's a little teaser. But yeah, man, I'm impressed the most with their perseverance. That's why I told you not to say it, because even though you kind of still went the same way I was going, they're able to persevere through the injuries. I guess what impresses me the most, I'm not going to, because that toes the line with what you said. I'm going to go their ability to adapt, because changes have, what's the word I'm looking for? Gosh. Adjustments. Their ability to adjust, I said adapt, but I meant adjust, is just uncanny. And the fact that hold Chucky to an almost triple-double. Javon's going to go off. Oh, you held Javon? Oh, Ted's going to go off. I call him Ted. Oh, you're going to hold Ted? Oh, Booby's going to go off. That's what I call Boubacar. So, gosh, man, it's been a long time since we've had, maybe since the days of Larry, Francisco, and Taekwon, that we've had a 3 or 4. And I know Brandon Jenkins was on that squad too. We're going to get him on here soon. He just turned 40 yesterday. Happy birthday. And I guess he goes to sleep early. He's not riding me back later in the day, so it is what it is. Joey, what has impressed you? What is impressing you the most over the last month with this team?
I mean, mine was what I was talking about before. Just getting Traore back and the energy and everything he brings, but it also allows other guys to get rest. It'll save some legs throughout the season. So being that he's able to do that, but he's also very productive. He's like Sean said, getting post up. He's attacking the rim. He's rebounding. He's playing defense. He's just kind of a 5-tool player. Like, he's doing everything.
Absolutely. Daniel says, is Sean's mic on? I wish it wasn't. Sean, say something. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds fine on this side. So I appreciate you saying that, though, because it could have very well meant that he accidentally hit one of these buttons over here. Edwards wasn't lying. He said, watch out when this team gets it rolling, for sure. I like it because you never know who you're going to get the scoring from. Good comparison. Can you get Michael on here? I can work on that. Players stepping up when others aren't producing is phenomenal. Players willing to give to the hot hand and not sulk when they're not getting the touches. Behavior and attitude. That's what I was going to say. Also great. What are you the most worried, or is there anything that you're worried about with this team going down the stretch? I'm going to go first on this one. Just their youth and their experience, but some of that has been tapered a little bit because of the way they've been able to adjust and roll on the fly. There's not very many gaping negatives that I've seen. Joey, what about you?
The thing that I just still worry about is fatigue. We still have a limited amount of players that we can put out there. So just a little on the cautious side of them tiring out later in games, later in the season.
Sean, what about you?
It's kind of tough because Joey kind of took mine, but I know he kind of said that a lot throughout the entire year. So the one thing I'd be worried about is if somebody goes into a slump, or everybody goes in a slump at the same time.
Well, yeah, but if everybody doesn't wake up,
you know what I mean, because that could happen because everybody like right now, Edwards has been in a slump, and even though he's got great numbers all around as far as scoring, Chucky's been in a slump. But we've had Javon pick it up and Kadir pick it up.
And Jay, it's just coming from out. But I get what you're saying.
But if they all go in a slump at the same time, that's where you can see like a losing streak happen. I don't think that will happen, but that'd be what concerns me.
All right. Next question for the panel and for the people. This is the one that's going to get this will get them talking. Who's your MVP so far this season? Sean, I'm going to go with you first. I know this is not said to you a whole lot.
To me, there's no question.
It's got to be Chucky. Because even when he's not scoring, he's distributing, he's rebounding, and defense. His defense, he's the leader on defense, period, in the story. Everybody feeds off of him on the defensive end.
Okay. Joey?
Yeah, that's what I was. Sean stole my answer. Yeah, to me, it's Chucky. I mean, because if he's not scoring, he's passing out dimes. He still, he stays active on the defensive end. Getting the steals, getting rebound. He rebounds well for a point guard. He makes the team go whether he's scoring or not.
Phil wants to know, why aren't we ranked? I don't. Well, here's going to be my argument. Because the North Carolina win. So what are our last 4 victories?
Carolina,
Clemson, Virginia, Carolina, EKU, right? Yeah. So a lot of people would argue we weren't ranked that week because we squeaked by EKU and it could have been a fluke against North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. So then we had to win these 2 games against Virginia and Clemson to really prove that we belong. If we win tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be ranked.
Yeah. Also, I will say Virginia right now is kind of falling apart, and I think that's another reason why, because they're starting to crash and burn.
Phil says Chucky. Garrett says Chucky. Red State says Chucky, the head of the snake, unbelievable defense. He also says these guys want the smoke. They love going into rip-off arena. That's why I don't worry about them on the road. I definitely don't worry about them on the road. Kyler Holtz says, just got done watching Michael play against Darren Peterson in Prolific Prep in Paducah. The head coach from Prolific said there's another big commitment coming for the Cards. Ooh. We'll have to do some research and find out who plays for Prolific. Who else plays for Prolific other than Darren? Where does Nate Ament play at, Sean?
Let's see here.
Look that up. Great. Thank you for the insight there, Kyler. My MVP so far, guys, I'm going to what's out here, and I'm going to say Pat Kelsey has been the MVP so far. being able to get what he's got out of this team. Who it's not like we got a bunch of Power 5 transfers. We got one high Power 5 transfer in Chucky. Then we had Javon, who's from Colorado, which is technically Power 5, but like, who cares about the Big 12? And then who else? No, because South Florida is not Power 5. Were those the only two guys that we had from a Power 5 that came in? I know I'm forgetting. Where did Corin come from?
He was Power 5. I believe he came from Washington.
Yeah. Okay,
So
that's the other one I was missing. So, yeah. So there we go on that. Let's change directions here a little bit as you all are looking at your phone and not at the camera at the beautiful people. What is it?
I had to amend my bet because on that one I put 2 TDs for the defense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's why it was at a million.
Yeah.
What did it go down to when you amended it?
Now it won't even let me do that.
Oh, stupid. Joey placed $1 million bet accidentally. Well, he didn't accidentally.
That's all right. I'll just add more to get it to go farther up.
There you go. What does this team need to do to take the next step? Like, what can they do better than they're doing now that can get them to this team's a top 25 team. They are a national title contender. I'm not saying we're going to get there this year. This is all hoop dreams and everything, but Sean, since Joey won't acknowledge the question.
I didn't say I wouldn't acknowledge it.
What does this team need to do to take the next step?
Hit their open 3-pointers.
Uh-huh.
Because right now they're not shooting to their career averages. Everybody's below their career averages. If they just start making shots from deep based on what their career averages are, that's going to take this team to a whole other level. They're going to be almost impossible to stop.
Daniel says Chucky because it's like child's play. See what I did there? Red State says, yeah, Coach Kelsey assembled a team full of dogs. That's why we're still competitive with the players that we lost. Joey, what do you think that we could? Because I'm not going to go on any more than I need to. I agree with Sean. I think the open 3-pointers is the thing. Daniel said make free throws, but they've been doing pretty good at free throws the last 4 or 5 games. Haven't been
too bad.
But to his point, making free throws is what lost us a couple of those 5 games that we lost. So,
so they've worked on that, obviously,
right? And they're becoming more consistent.
Yeah, I would say 3-pointers, but also just taking care of the basketball, making smart.
There are still a lot of stupid turnovers.
Making smart decisions. They get a little reckless sometimes going to the basket. In particular, sometimes Javon early in the season would get a little bit slippery, would be the word I would use. He could get a little bit out of control and turn the ball over, but he's done a lot better with that. But just take care of the basketball.
I like it. Both Wes's said they were going to be in the chat.
Wes was, but he's probably working.
That's true. Well, the other one sitting at home said he probably fell asleep. Y'all, you know how Wes is. When he comes over for wrestling and stuff, he makes it about 30 minutes in and then takes a nap. Dwayne says it's scary to see what Pat is doing that still hurts. Imagine if nobody got hurt. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And Red State says, I think they're on the right path. Keep improving each game and stay focused on the next game. PK has this under control, especially when you got a guy like Peyton Siva, an all-world guy like Peyton Siva that is helping you out. And just Coach Kelsey's such a great guy. Like when I got to meet him, the couple times I got to meet him, acted like he knew me forever, which he had no idea who I was probably. We carried a great conversation both times. And Peyton's the same way. Like he will literally give you the shirt off of his back if he could. You can tell. I mean, even at Shoot 360, not only has he in the past employed Quentin Snyder, but now Terrence Jennings works up there. Tony Williams works up there. It's a brotherhood, and they're trying to, I love it. Garrett says the whole team has shown they are willing and able to be coached up. Kelsey has absolutely picked the right players, and until proven differently, in Pat, I trust. I couldn't say that any better if I tried. Now, I think all of us are going to give the same answer to this, and fans, please chime in. Is this a tournament team? As long as there are no more unforeseen obstacles. I'm not even going to say the word, because you say the word and then that's going to happen. Sam, did you want? Sam, did you have anything to say? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sorry, Sam. I didn't really understand what you said. Understood what you said. He must be on another one of his play dates. I'm not really sure. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Tournament team, right?
Yeah.
Joey?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm saying probably 8-9.
Okay. So you're trying to believe in the team, but not like set everybody's hopes, because I think they're going to be. I think they could be a 5 or 6 seed once the season ends, but I'm gonna go for the 8-9 because that's lowered expectations. All right, we're gonna do the same thing before we go to commercial break.
I already got my $1 million bet back.
Okay, cool. Expectations. There are how many games left in the regular season? 16?
16.
All right. I want everybody in the chat to put your 16-game prediction in the chat line before we go on commercial break. Sean, I'm just going to let you go first because we all like to make fun of you anyway. So 16 games left. SMU's on the schedule. Pittsburgh's on there twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is SMU on there twice or just once?
Once.
Just once.
Do we travel to Dallas or is that here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
Okay. 18 games left. What do we go?
Well,
that might be copyright.
We did this a couple weeks ago.
We've done this the last 4 weeks, and
I
it's
was
changed every week.
5 that time, and now there's 16 games left. I'm gonna go 13-3.
Okay, Joey.
I had the total record in my head. I didn't think about so 16 left. We've got 5 losses. 13-3. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go 12-4. Not just because there's always those hiccups that happen.
At 14-2.
Yeah, I almost went 4 times close.
No, we're favored, I believe, in every one of the games left except 3.
Except Pitt and who's
SMU probably.
SMU probably.
Matt Cross and the Crews balling.
Honestly, man, who did they just get blasted by? Was it Duke?
I think it was Duke. Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's Duke.
Yeah, but we didn't get blasted by Duke.
Yeah, it took Duke everything it had.
I mean, not everybody loses by the same amount of points or wins by the same amount of points. But let's see what the chat line has to say. Red State agrees with Garrett Hoover. I know what you meant. What's up? Tournament team, yes, says Red State, 5 or 6. Garrett Hoover says yes.
Already down to 3.5 now.
Red State says 14-2. Tony Bowman says 13-3. Garrett says 15-1. And Eric Gold says 16-0. Good Lord. I mean, it could happen. We're definitely better than a lot of the teams left. Wes Keys, taking a break from work to tune in with us, says 14-2. It was North Carolina that beat the crap out of SMU.
Okay.
Red State says 16-0 sounds great. Garrett West says 13-3 as well. I'm erring on the side of caution and going 12-4 just because I don't want to be too overzealous. Eric Goat says 14-2 at the worst. All right, y'all. Really quickly, we got to go to our commercial break. That's how we're able to stay on the air. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is a 2-minute warning. We'll be right back with the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters It's time. Located behind the El Nepal at 2745 Crittenden Drive. They're set up there all football season for the home game. Shout out to Bill, Garrett, Rhino, Craig, Kevin, Doc, and the crew. Rest in peace, Corrito, for a great time. Hit up the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters. Four Pegs Beer Lounge, where every week is either Wings Day or the Ribs Day. On Wings Day, $20 all you can eat jumbo smoked wings and $1.25 per wing all day long. On the Ribs Day, come get the best ribs in the Ville for just $25 all you can eat or $2 a bone all day long. Fitness Market. Contact our fine friends at Fitness Market to find out how they can furnish your dream at-home gym. From treadmills to saunas to weights, they have you covered. Planet Fitness. Shout out to Planet Fitness and Rick Cooper for helping us look sharp on the sidelines this summer. Great monthly deals for memberships as well. Check your local listings for a location near you. Cherry Pickin', a hoops-themed cold-pressed juice and smoothie bar inspiring you to take what's good. Conveniently located at 828 East Main Street behind the local seltzery. Tell them CSC sent you for 15% off your total order. Shoot 360, a premier state-of-the-art basketball training facility with highly skilled trainers. Call 515-6556 and sign up today. Great value all around. And if you go to shoot360.com, you can pre-register for a free workout. Come to Shoot 360, the world's most advanced basketball training facility. Rally House. Check out our friends at the Jefferson Mall. Lisa, Dee, Rico, Amanda, and the crew. Tell them Cardinal Sports Zone sent you. They'll make sure you get taken care of really well. Rally House. Our house, your house, Rally House. Local stuff. Last but not least, our fine friends at Mossy Oak and Hart Properties. If you are in the market to buy or sell farms, land, recreational, or residential areas in the state of Kentucky, let Paul or one of their team of professionals at Mossy Oak and Hart Realty help you out with all your buying and selling needs. Call Paul at 270-537-4422 or email him at pthomas@mossyoakproperties.com. Mossy Oak, we know land. Man, we appreciate that. What a great voiceover guy we have there.
He's whack. He's whack.
No, he's probably the GOAT. I saw that on on a documentary somewhere. Joey's gonna come in here next week. He's gonna win this $1 million bet and then come in here next week like his crap don't stink, even though we all know that's not true.
I'm gonna buy me a gold-plated Ulafala.
Ulafala?
Go, boy, I like it.
I'm gonna walk in just like I'm like.
You can't though because we'll get the copyright.
No, anybody can do that.
No, I meant with the.
I can do that. They don't know what it is. I can be farting.
Very, very true. Welcome back, by the way, to the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Wallman, here with Joe Wallman, the comedic relief. Don't do it every time, Sean. And the world's, hold on, I got to come up with a good one. The world's greatest designated driver, Sean Barber.
That's a good one.
The walking Sahara Desert.
He also
never mind. I'm glad I didn't say that.
He would also only expect the person in the passenger seat to want to have a conversation with him. Shout out to our guy Sam. Look,
Bushwick Bill over there.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Friday night, and we are having a good time. Just watched the second of two very good college football playoff Final Four games. Make sure, once again, underneath you can see where you can help support us monetarily and where to follow us on social media. We've got the YouTube subscriptions popping. Sean, we've got to go to the hottest segment in podcasting history.
Yep.
Sean, it's about your dating life. Roll the video.
No.
It's like the movie Groundhog Day.
All right. Well, that answers a lot.
In his pants.
That I don't know why. It's just like every week.
I didn't say any bad words.
You said hog.
Well, that's not what I meant.
You can't even transition from that. Speaking of hogs.
Well, you can transition. It is 2024. Dang.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
Time traveling. Yeah. Looking. Don't forget also, go to spencerstand.com. That is the NIL site for Louisville men's basketball player Spencer Legg. He's number 55 on the roster, number 1 in your heart. And his site is aimed towards helping raise NIL funds for him and to raise awareness for type 1 diabetes. He is a type 1 diabetic college athlete. He encourages and motivates young kids that have type 1 diabetes to be active. You can pick from 3 different things on spencerstand.com for an hour. You can do a virtual hangout with them for $10. For $50, you can go to the, I believe you get to go to the Cougar Center. That's not been specified with me. It just says shoot around with the team, with Spencer and the guys. So watch it be in Spencer's driveway or something. I mean, still, that's access. $50, 2 hours, shoot around with Spencer and shoot the bull. Shoot whatever you want to. But the best one, and the best offer, I believe, for $50 is the game day experience. And you get to be with the team before the game, after the game. You get to watch the game in premium seats, and you get to just take your kids and have a good time.
Is it just one ticket? Like if
it's one ticket, $50, one ticket. I'm going to take us all to a game here before the end of the season because that's the kind of benevolent OTC that I am. You will stop worshiping false prophets.
Look, he's looking at me.
I love you, Jolo. Looking at it. Let's get to the chat line and get that caught up. Chris Curry says 11-5 just because we're shorthanded. ACC refs are still calling the games. All spreads matter. Eric says, I just think we have so many different ways this team can win. If a couple guys are having a bad night, bingo. Even with their injuries, we feel so deep. Pause. Tony Bowman says, Sean, the Don Juan of never getting none. I like it. That's going to be your entrance next week. And Jason Baker says, what's up, all? What's up, y'all? What's up, JB? This is the time of the show where we turn to women's basketball beat writer Sam Baisden and let him give us the skinny on the Louisville women's basketball program. But as you all can see, he didn't show up tonight.
He's dressed as John Cena.
Yeah, he's dressed as John Cena. But he did give us some stuff to talk about. The Cards did go 2-0 this week with wins versus Wake Forest and Pitt, both on the road. The Cards have won 4 straight since the throttling to NC State. The Cards have 13 ranked, host, I guess what it should have said, host 13th ranked Georgia Tech on Sunday. The first home game since January the 2nd. Louisville has an important stretch of 5 games starting with Georgia Tech if they want to improve their seeding for the ACC tournament. Georgia Tech, UVA, VT, and SMU are all Georgia Tech's 3-1. Virginia Tech, and SMU are all 2-2. Syracuse is currently 0-4. Yeah, I would say that would be a stretch of games that'd be important to ball out in. The ideal record of those 5 games is 5-0, realistically speaking, with this team. So his first question to us was, what do we think the Cards record will be after those 5 games? I'm going to go first. People out there in chat land contribute as well. I would appreciate it. I'm going to go 4-1 because I've got CTSD, which is card traumatic stress disorder. No slight to people that have the PTSD, but Louisville has absolutely shot my nerves over the last 5 years, and I don't believe in anything anymore. So I'm going to go 4-1, and the one's going to be one of them we shouldn't lose. Sean, what about you?
I'll go 5-0.
Oh, why not?
I think those teams, the way they're playing right now,
why not 5-0?
They should win those games. They really should.
And don't forget, those of y'all out there that are watching, tuning in, we're going to go over the portal departures and portal arrivals in segment 4. But Joey, what do you? Again, people out there in chat land, give us your thoughts on what the Cardinals games will be. The women's Cardinals after those 5 games we mentioned, which were Georgia Tech, UVA, VT, SMU. And Syracuse.
Okay. I'm saying 5-0 because I've got JWB, Jeff Wall's belief.
Triple F says 4-1. Chris Curry says, I'm noticing that when the women's team cuts down the turnover in the second half, they tend to win comfortably. I agree with that 1,000,000,000,000%.
It took them a little bit against Pitt, but they made it happen.
Who's impressed you the most so far this season? I'm gonna answer this one because I know I watch it a lot more than the other two do. I'm gonna say Jada Curry, but she's supposed to be impressive, so that's kind of a cop out. But she's impressed me the most so far this season. Sean, who has impressed? Who's impressed you the most so far this season? Bless you. Now who's?
She's a freshman. She doesn't necessarily play like a freshman. Of all the freshmen on the team, she seems the most composed, and she's contributed the most out of all of them so far. Although they're starting to come on now, the rest of the freshman class, they're really starting to cook.
I'm gonna say Olivia Cochran. She's just doing her thing.
Olivia doing Olivia things.
Olivia Cochran.
The freshman class is just unbelievable too. So
just think about that next year. That's the thing. Next year with those, and then whoever else is coming in as freshmen next year. We're gonna be okay this year, but next year he's built the foundation.
Absolutely. If you could change one thing about this team, what would it be? For me, it would be I see all these other teams with these really tall girls at center. So if I could change one thing, I'd put a 6'7", 6'8" chick down at the center position. Allow us to – I know those don't come around very often, right? But I would love to – now, don't get me wrong. We've had our generational talents in women's basketball. Shoni Schimmel, Asia Durr, Angel McCautry, to name a few, Jazz Covington. But we've not had that tall five that I think we all would like to have. Do either of you all have a
3-point shooting? I just want it to become a little more consistent. I feel like that once again, like with the men, if they get more consistent.
Chris Curry, I think, is agreeing with you. Said Robert, isn't that who you said?
Yeah,
Tawana.
Yeah.
And Red State says Coach Walls for doing this thing with non-freshmen, and it's hard to disagree with that as well. As of June, that's not what he said. He higgied this up a little bit. As of June 10th, what's your end of year prediction for this team? I'm gonna say Sweet 16. Now they have plenty of time to change that, but as of right now, I see the flashes. I can see them starting to put it together, but they've got to continue. We got to develop some consistency. So I'm going to say Sweet 16. Sean, do you have something? Either he's constipated or he's got something on his mind?
No. I think Sweet 16 right now would be the ceiling.
Why are you just copying all of our answers, Sean?
I'm going to say the round of 32.
Look, Red State said it. We need a Sasquatch like the other championship teams. So you're going around to 32.
Yeah, it's possible for more, but just with some of the inconsistencies right now, until they show that they can improve on those and be consistent.
So you want them to consistently be consistent? Consistently.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not a knock. Again, you make the tournament with as many freshmen as we have. I think it's a successful season. And then again, you're building for next year.
All right. And you all still have time to get your alls in as we head to segment 4, which is rapid fire. That's way too long. The University of Louisville baseball program has announced their 5 student athletes that will serve as captains for the upcoming 2025 season. Tucker Biven, Eddie King, the electric Eddie King Jr., my guy, Eddie King Jr., Matt Klein and Zion Rose, along with newcomer Kamau Neighbors, who's the guy that I'm most excited to see play as captains for 2025. The Louisville football team has had a number of portal departures. Now, these are from Higgy. So if anything's wrong, cuss him out. Don't cuss me out. Devin Neal, which was early in the season. Aaron Williams, Madden Sinker, Mason Riger, Donald Cheney, Jaden Thompson, Mo Turner, Mo Problems, Jahil McClain, Ben Perry, Jimmy Callaway, Joe Crocker, Pierce Clarkson, Jared Dawson, Jamari Johnson, Jaden Spearman, MJ Campbell, Katarius Hicks, Harrison Bailey, Jerunta Davis, and Monroe Mills. Does that sound like about everybody?
Yeah, actually, that's
All right. Portal
Yeah,
additions.
we talked about earlier. Q1 came back. So.
Yeah. So portal additions. Safety from Baylor, Corey Gordon. Linebacker from Tennessee, Caleb Perry. Justin Ague from Louisiana, cornerback. TJ Williams, wide receiver from Minnesota. Denzel Lowry, defensive lineman from Old Dominion. Damon Clowney. I wonder if that's any relation. He is. It's always good to have a Clowney in your defensive end. I don't know what I was going to say there. Defensive end from Charlotte. Clev Lubin.
Dude, that's an awesome name. I don't even know what Clev.
Is it Clev or Cleve?
What up, Clev? It's Clev now.
My name is Cleve Lubin, and I am proud to be defensive end from Coastal Carolina. Jabari Mack. We got to see him a little bit earlier in the year. Cornerback from Jacksonville State. Now, there were two other guys on the Jacksonville State team that I was hoping to get, and that was their quarterback and Bron Breaker's cousin. Those were the two guys. And this guy would have been third for sure. Mack was third for sure.
He's probably going to start wrestling soon. I mean, I know that's his goal.
Absolutely. Rodney Johnson, cornerback from Southern University. Jordan Church, a former Cardinal commit that went elsewhere.
Take him to church.
But he come back. Isn't this nickname like the Big Snack? It's something like that.
It is now.
He's going to have to wrestle Higgy for that. We'll get that set up. Offensive lineman from Florida Atlantic. Carter Guillaume, offensive lineman from Southeast Missouri State. Good old SEMO. JoJo Evans, safety, Florida International. Jerry Lawson, defensive lineman, Abilene Christian. The crown jewel of this class, Miller Moss, quarterback, Southern California. And really quick, prayers up for his family and him. They lost their home in the fires in Los Angeles. And shout out to LA overall for that, because it's doing a lot of devastation in California, not just LA, but all of California. So we'll be praying that things get better and that things don't get worse. Kalen Pounders, I like that name. Offensive lineman, Mississippi State. Wesley Bailey, defensive lineman, Rutgers. Nair Jackson, O-lineman from Florida International. A couple Florida International guys then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
JoJo Evans being the other one. Darius Thomas, linebacker, Western Kentucky. Now, he's a hometown kid, right?
I believe if he's not from Louisville, he's from like the metro area. I want to say he might be from Elizabethtown. I'm not sure on that.
Mahameen Musa, offensive lineman, Purdue. So that's a nice little lineup there. And yeah, portal. We're still portaling. There's still some more portaling to be done. As Joey said, Kewan Brown hopped in the portal. I'll be honest with you.
Hop back out.
Boise State was a perfect spot for him. So for him to be like, you know what, we not me, I'm not taking my hat off, but hats off to him. Sean, take your hat off.
I don't have one.
And then put it back on. So that's a great class so far. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Again, don't forget, next week we're going to be talking about what the battle plan is for men's basketball recruiting for this season. I'm going to try to get a special guest on with us as well. Don't forget to support our photographers, Keith Russell, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, bar none the best in the business. Keith's gallery, was it against Clemson, got over 100,000 views the other day. These guys, they do so well because they love what they do. So shout out to him. Got a lot of the players contacting him, asking for pictures to put on their stories and stuff. And, you know, we don't have to have that, but we always love. I mean, Teddy used to use our stuff all the time. Lamar used to use our stuff all the time. So we like it. But Also, sponsorship opportunities in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see for sponsorship opportunities. Please email me at jswallman723@aol.com/last man on earth, other than Mike Rutherford with AOL.com. Listen to the show Fridays at 11:05 p.m. for our regular. That is our regular time slot going forward until the summer hits. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer the YouTube. You can find the audio version of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on over 125 total podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart. Hit subscribe, heart, like, plus, or whatever it is Sean normally does on Saturday night. We assume it's stalk. It'll immediately download those podcasts to your PC or mobile phone for you to listen to. But why would you want to listen to it when you can just see these beautiful faces and Sean every week? If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, then it's easy. Go back to cardinalsportszone.com, the place that I'll begin. Go to the podcast drop-down menu. There are two choices from there. There's archives, which is all of our stuff prior to 93.9, which I think we started 93.9 when, Sean, in 2014.
Yeah.
And we 2014 to 2018, I think. And then the CSC podcast is all of our stuff post 93.9. It's got the last 249 episodes. Hard to believe we're already to 249 episodes of this new of this iteration. I know we try to go pretty. We try to be pretty regular, and there's only been a few times we didn't go due to health reasons. We didn't go every week, but it's been a great time, and we hope to have many, many, many more. We're at season 6. Who knows how much longer we go? I mean, we'll keep doing it as long as y'all keep tuning in. Y'all love us. We love y'all. It's a great time. Let's see, where was I at? Shout out to everybody who is sharing the podcast. We appreciate and love you guys. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. I don't know why I do my 93.9 The Ville voice like that every time. Just a habit from being on there. We'll be right back on 93.9 The Ville. Shout out to our guys at the 502 Circle, Mark and Dan, doing work. Man, Dan is putting out about 757 videos a day to promote the 502 Circle. Can't hate him about that. Social media wise, Sean, where can people find you on social media? Now, let me clarify: Instagram, Twitter, not Grindr,
or
Bumble,
or Feet Finder.
Farmers Only, Plenty of Fish, or JDate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. At Elville Sean.
At Elville Sean. Give out your Instagram, Sean.
SBarb06, I think, or SBarber06.
For all the ladies out there that want to follow Sean Barber, it's
Slide them DMs.
Slide in his dungarees. I don't care what you slide in.
Yeah.
Do something. Joey, where can people find you on social medias?
Joe Wallman 526.
I'm at Jeremy_CSE. The website is at Card Sport Zone on most everything. On Facebook, it's Cardinal Sports Zone. On YouTube, it's Cardinal Sports Zone. One word. Facebook's 3 words. On Instagram, Twitter, I'm not calling it. I don't know why TJ included that. I'm not calling it that. We're at Card Sport Zone. Singular card, singular sport, singular zone. Last word, Sean. I'm going to give you the opportunity to go first on this again. I feel like this is just a feel-good Sean Friday. So, last words.
It's market season in Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Are you calling it Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Man,
I figured.
I don't know if I can totally get down with that because we got a team playing tomorrow in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. No, we're playing in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
It's Merkin season in Baltimore.
Okay.
Even though Maryland's trash, I don't want us to walk into trash. So for tomorrow only, it's the second city's Still City.
I feel like your impersonation of Sean is giving off retro Dwayne Cannon vibes.
Oh, Mr. Jeremy.
Stand there.
Oh, Mr. Mike. My name's Michael. Only my friends call me Mike. You can call me Michael.
That was
awesome.
like the greatest moment in the history
Shout out
of
Mike Howard.
work. Shout out to Mike Howard. Well, shout out to Nolan, him and Shayna. It was a little early, but Kai came into existence a couple days ago down in Memphis. I could not be more happy for Shayna and Nolan adding to their family. The Deuce and Cam are absolutely in love with the baby. If you follow either of them on social media, the kids have social media too. I'm not really sure how they upload everything. I think Shayna loves social media, so that's why the kids have it.
Mhm.
But if you follow Nolan, you'll get to see all the pictures of the baby. Man, I can't believe it. Again, we're going to do men's basketball recruiting catch up next week. I've been posting, Sean, for 10 days. I've been posting workout videos trying to help motivate people. Because normally when I do that, they're like, man, you motivate me so much. Had my week 1 weigh-in yesterday, lost 13 pounds.
All right.
So I have a goal
I found them.
to lose 40 pounds. My goal was on January 1st, lose 40 pounds in 31 days. So it's going to be a tough battle, but I think I can get there. But go to @Jeremy_CSE if you'd like. I don't put that on Twitter or Facebook. Instagram's kind of my safe space for weight loss. So follow me there. And good luck to Notre Dame in the championship game on January the 20th. I've got a lot of family on my dad's side that's from South Bend. And even though we were never forced to like wear Notre Dame stuff, my grandpa always used to try to slide a little Notre Dame t-shirt. Well, it wasn't little because I was a big kid, but he tried to, hey, wear this. What was that, Sam? Okay. So good luck to the Irish. Again, Roman Oben, our friend, his son plays for the Fighting Irish. So that's if for no other reason, we can support him for that. Guys, I think we're out of time for tonight. I don't know why I'm hitting the button. Sean, you're the producer. You slap nuts. We hope you all enjoy this week. Stay safe. Stay warm. We'll be back to you all next Friday night. If anything happens, we'll be back before then. Until next time, for Joey, for Sean, for Sam, for Wes and Dalton, and a little of Higgy, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We are out. L's up.